Okay, the time is 7:02, 7:04, and I'll call this March 13th, 2014 Town Board meeting to order, and I ask you to join Councilman Depot in the pledge of the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
George. All right, approval to pay the audited bills from the general fund, $93,551.28. From the highway fund, $52,755.39. From water one, $16,483.38. Water two, $14,765.77. Water three, $791.63. Sewer, $7,136.18. And credit on Henry's Trail, $425.78, for a total of $185,057.85. I'm gonna make a motion to pay the audited
I'll
bill.
move to pay the auto bills.
Moved by Councilman McDonald, second by Councilman Depot. Under discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Regular board meeting minutes of February 13th, 2014. I should say before we even move any further that we have lots of sickness going around. Both the clerk, town clerk and deputy town clerk are both sick. Highway superintendent is sick. Councilman Hall is sick. Councilman McDonald's sick but here. And Councilwoman Shelton's sick but here. So we're running on a bare bones tonight, and we apologize for that, but we're gonna get through this. So minutes from February 13th, 2014, any changes? Councilman Depot,
None from me.
Councilwoman Shelton,
No, I'm good.
Councilman McDonald.
The only thing I saw was, second page under DPW, Chris Carroll, on the vote for the, what was that thing?
On the screen,
The screen plant,
you got the same screen unit, okay?
they had you as a yes vote, and I believe that was a no vote,
I
correct?
did vote no, and the reason I voted no was because I just didn't want to use CHIPS funding.
Right.
I'm in favor of it, but not
Right.
CHIPS funding, but we have other options, possibility anyways, just to update it before I'll just say that, looking at some of the FEMA reimbursements, we still might be able to do this without having to get into the CHIPS money full as much as we thought we would, but, we'll keep you updated with, it's something we've been working on, so.
Other than that, that's the only thing I saw.
Okay. Alright, so I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Shelton, seconded by
Second.
Councilman Depot. Under discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion's carried, we'll get those back corrected tomorrow. Okay, audience comments. Anybody in the audience? I know what you're here for, Lucy. You're welcome to have the floor, because we are gonna bring it up, but you can say whatever you want.
I can wait.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything you wanted to bring up tonight, or?
No, good?
All right, so next on the list, and I shared the emails that have been going around, Lucy and I, we shared, and Chris, and the Essex County DPW Director. And Lucy has put in a request, and I think it's a legitimate request, and so hasn't the county DPW director and the town DPW director both feel it's a legitimate concern. So before we vote on it, Lucy, is there anything you wanna say about, you know, your concerns about the Stickney Bridge, road speed limit?
It's hazardous how it is now, and people drive way too fast on it. I have to walk with my grandchildren from the barn over the culvert to my house, and a lot of times people just go zooming by. I have people I know walk their dogs and they get pushed off the road, and, I feel 40 miles an hour is a better speed limit because people would be more under control than when they're driving and avoid accidents that have happened on that road, so.
I,
Is this a certain section of Stickney Bridge Road, or is
It's
it
the
all
whole-
road from
The whole
bridge to
road,
bridge?
Bridge to bridge is what,
Bridge to
I think
bridge.
Tony is looking at. Here's what happens, just so everybody knows we can. The town puts a request in, usually we get a recommendation from the town highway superintendent or the county highway superintendent. Once the town board passes a resolution, if there's a recommendation from a citizen or a business, it comes to the town board. The town board either votes to say that it needs further discussion down from a higher agency that makes these determinations. And if that happens, then it goes on the DPW director in the county, and he has to sign off on it. And then the state, which I'm totally against, and I'm explaining a little bit here, the state has to come in, do a traffic study. And usually this whole process takes about 6 months, which is very frustrating. This town board has been successful in doing some recommendations on different roads in the town and been successful in getting the state to agree to lower speed limits. Other times they've turned us down. I serve on the Association of Counties Board of Directors, and I also go to every Association of Towns meeting annually in New York City, as this year Councilman Depot went to. It's always a resolution in the packet that we feel that a town and county should have that jurisdiction. We don't need the state to tell it. On a state road, absolutely, but in the town and county, there's an annual resolution trying to convince the state to let us have home rule where we can make those decisions after thorough research. And there's ways to do a thorough research now because we have more technology. We have a sheriff's department that can come in and hook up a thing in the tree, which we just did in All Sable Drive. And they can see how fast and when people are traveling fast and what day of the week it is. So there's ways to tell, much quicker than the state response. So the process being is, if this town board chooses tonight, they would pass a resolution. It would, the town clerk would sign off on it, would go over, which, after we do the resolution, she just stamps it, goes over to the county highway superintendent. He gives his approval on it. He's already, as you can see from the emails, he's already said he's gonna approve it. He feels it needs to happen too. And then it will go on to the state, and it can take as long as 6 months. And it is a frustrating process that we're trying to get changed, but unfortunately, we have not been successful in getting the law changed. But
Is that at a normal 40 or 55 now, is that what?
It's always
it's
been
55 miles an hour
Yeah.
now. And can I add one
Yeah.
more thing? A lot of traffic that comes, it's gonna be increased traffic from the bridge closure, Stickney Bridge closure, that I'm concerned about, and also there's log trucks and these granite trucks that go by now, and they just go down the middle of the road, zooming
That's because
through,
that bridge is
and
closed.
it's just really too fast.
what we can do is, since Stickney Bridge is closed right now, it's scheduled to open in May. We're hoping that early and middle of April it will actually open, but if everything goes right, weather, everything. We can ask the sheriff's department or state troopers to patrol the road, and we've been.
With that being a detour, could that be a lower speed just because of the detour now? Like a detour speed?
Look at that.
You know what, that's a good question for Tony, I don't know.
Temporary-
It's only during the work zone that they have, that you have to slow down.
But he's saying because it's a full detour now, they couldn't be
They
speed
could
limits
be.
temporarily, I don't know, I'll have to
Like
check on that.
temporarily.
You're gonna come into the same thing with Sheldrick and Green Street being detours too. That's why they brought those concerns forward too, because we have 2 other roads that have the same concern you have. And they're legitimate, they're very legitimate. Because you do get we are getting increased traffic on those roads now, and they are driving a lot faster on those roads.
So is it the intent of the board then you wanna pass a resolution to to include Stickney Bridge, Green Street, and, Sheldrick Road.
Yes.
And if that's, do you wanna move that,
I'll
Archie?
move that.
Okay, moved by, Councilman Depot,
I'll second.
seconded by Councilwoman Shelton. So we're gonna add Sheldrick Road and Green Street. Further discussion?
So, the final say is the state when they do their test, right? So,
Yep.
do they recommend the speed after they're done?
They usually
Yep.
That's
recommend
where it
that
comes from?
speed.
Yeah, matter of fact, I can tell you ones we haven't been successful for. John Sheldrick had pushed us for years trying to, and he tried it when he was on the board to convince the state right on Main Street to lower the speed limit. And they would come in, they do a traffic study and say no. I've had them do 2 traffic studies and still say no, but, we've been successful on a couple other roads. I think we were successful on All Sable Drive and All Sable Acres, at one point,
John
Brought it
Bell.
down to
or
40.
John Fountain Road, we were
What was
definitely,
it before?
that's what it was.
55.
I don't know,
That's what I
I
said.
think 55.
I don't know.
They've got them doing
There's
60.
a speed limit going 35 over the bridge, the new bridge,
Mhm.
and then, boom, they can go up to 55 coming up the road.
Especially
Once
with
they,
eaves
once they
and
hit
eaves and
Stickney.
everything in the road now, man.
Yeah.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion's carried. So, Lucy, I wish I had better answers for you to make this work right away, but what I'm gonna do is, Officer Benway, I will talk to him about, doing some patrol in that area.
Okay.
And I'll talk to Sheriff Cutting to see if, when he's, Officer Benway's in the area, or one of them, that they do some patrol in that area once in a while. If they see a sheriff's car just sitting there for a couple hours watching, they'll tend to, hey, there's a sheriff's car there, and everybody radios each other, and they might slow down for a while. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try it.
Thank
Is there
Okay.
any signs for children?
I don't know if there is on that road or not.
I don't know if there is. Do you have any signs up there, children at play or something like that?
you. No,
Now, where is Mona Dubé's daycare?
right across,
Or is it
right up
just
the
from
street
her?
from me.
Right up
It
in
might be
there?
a nice place for.
Might
a
be
sign.
nice to put something out there. It
Especially
might
on that short
catch
corner.
somebody's eye, may not.
Oh, she don't have her daycare in her home, does she? She's up,
She's up the road from me,
right?
right, kind of across from her house. And it's just up from my driveway,
that corner, you come down
past
on
the
that
barn.
corner.
So is her daycare right there at her
It's
house?
at the mayor's camp.
Yeah, no, it's up the road.
Up the way, okay.
Up the way.
Okay, we'll see what we can do, on these things. We're definitely gonna, the resolution's passed, we'll get it out, I think, if Carol's in tomorrow, or B, one of them, we'll get it out tomorrow, and
You
have
could
someone.
check on that detour speed too, and maybe, in the meantime, while it is a detour, it might,
Yep.
they could put some orange speed limit signs up, maybe it'll slow things down.
I know in interstates, they do that when they take heavy truck traffic off,
Mhm.
and they have to go around onto
They have
Yeah,
to
you-
stay
state roads,
slow.
they slow it
We
down.
should
Good idea.
slow it down, at least while the heavy traffic's there, and plus with all the heaving and open,
It's good,
people should be going down.
absolutely, we'll check on it.
Okay.
Okay, resolution approving me to go to the, it's not an overnight, and it usually doesn't have to go through here, but I did put, it wasn't put in the bills until after, so it's just approval for me to go to, the local government day conference in Lake Placid, and total cost $58.75.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Depot, seconded by Councilman McDowell. All in
What
favor?
day is that?
April 9th and 10th, I think it is. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Resolution accepting New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation in the amount of $54,460. We need to get this out tomorrow. They wanted it by March 7th, but it told me to have a board meeting until March 13th, so we need to, basically, it's giving me approval to accept this amount of money.
I'll move that.
That was a pretty easy one.
Second. Unanimous second.
Okay, McDonald and.
Last meeting, we had to move to spend 200 and something.
Unanimous second, we'll get that out tomorrow too, so.
stay through the whole meeting if you don't want to.
Okay.
No.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I'd stay where I got a few things pending.
That's okay, that's fine, that's good.
Okay, resolution to accept with regret the resignation of Jeff Houston and Sharon Houston from the Town of Dayton Planning Board. Good night, Lucy. So we wanna make the resolution, I think we should do them separately.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we did, yeah.
So we make a motion to accept the resignation of Jeff Houston.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilman McDonald.
I'll second.
Can we have a
With
unanimous
regrets.
second?
Yes.
With regrets.
And next Sharon Houston.
I'll let Amy do
Wanna move that, Amy?
that. I figured Amy would wanna do that.
I'll move it.
Moved by. Unanimous second?
With
Yes.
regrets,
Absolutely,
with a lot of regrets, she did a lot of hard work.
absolutely.
So when are they done now, or when are they?
Jeff is effective now, Sharon's March 30th, and what I'm gonna need from you guys is a permission to advertise, but there's a couple options that we can discuss tonight. Dan is coming, Dan will be here at 7:45,
Okay.
and I think I sent you an email explaining what our options are. Dan's gonna be here tonight, we'll use that as one of our questions to him. I did send you there's possibilities.
Okay.
You can, we can advertise for planning board members, we have 2 still on. We can, the town board can be the planning board, operate as a planning board to make decisions. The county board of supervisors can take recommendations from the county planning office, which is now the community resources department. They can do subdivision request. Or we can, have, town attorney make recommendations to us, and then the town board approve them. Or we can, advertise again and see who's interested on the planning board. But we'll wait on that part of it until Dan gets here, so we can, in case I said anything wrong on that.
Could appoint Chris too, if we wanted to.
We could, we certainly
Good
could.
what?
We can appoint
Because
Chris
they-
too.
You're
Oh,
gonna lose
yes,
your
there
only
you go.
audience member.
We don't have it.
No, that would, it's probably a paid job.
We were done with Sharon, right? We did.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes. Okay. Also on that, back to that Grove grant, Dan did give us we need a council opinion that's gotta go out tomorrow. I don't believe we need to do a resolution on accepting the council opinion, but I'm gonna do it just to cover us. Dan's already gave the council opinion. And it was in your packet. I just want approval to accept the council opinion on the Grove, so we can ship that. Moved by Councilman Pico, seconded by
I'll second.
Councilman McDonald. Under discussion, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So now we should be all set on the, to move forward on that grant funding.
Who was the lady that was here, Randy?
Lucy Burrow.
Lucy Burrow.
Okay, the next thing is, Tom brought this to my attention, he feels it's free money, it's a $5,000 grant from NYSERDA. And basically, it's, this is what he's wrote to me.
Might want to specify Tom Worthington.
Yeah, Tom Worthington. What the attachments are about, NYSERDA approved building permit application for electric car charging facilities and for solar collector and solar photovoltaic arrays. NYSERDA is trying to make the application uniform across the state, and in that effort, they are paying $2,500 per adopted application for a total of $5,000 to each town. We don't have any zoning, so it's pretty simple for us. The only difference is that we use their forms instead of building permit. We still collect our applicable permit fees, and the installers are still required to meet all state building codes, so it's a simple matter of the town getting $5,000. So, I don't see a problem with it. Does somebody wanna move that?
I'll second.
Moved by Councilman Depot.
Yeah, I talked to Tom about it.
You did.
I did.
Seconded by, did you second that?
Amy
I did.
Councilwoman Shelton, under discussion.
So the 5,000 is to do what?
Basically, we're gonna have to use their permits for it. Let's say that Chris wants to come in and put a charging for electric cars and he wants to put one on a property, we have to use the state permits to allow him to do it.
Oh, okay.
That's basically what it's telling us.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next, I gave you in your packet the Alsea Forest Fire District, annual report, annual financial report. Anybody wanna make a motion to accept?
I'll move it.
Moved, by Councilman McDonald. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Depot. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Next is a resolution allowing the town of Wilmington to use the Bartlett, Stiles Brook, and J Mountain Road on 6/22/14 from 7 AM to noon for their annual bike race. We've allowed them to do it for the last 2 or 3 years.
I'll move it.
Moved by
I'll second.
Councilman McDonald, seconded by Councilwoman Schulten. Local traffic is still allowed to go through there, and they do have flaggers and stuff that they use, so.
I haven't heard any problems with that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, the next one. First of all, I wanna apologize to the board for being, kind of sarcastic last meeting when it came to the phone system. I shouldn't, I was frustrated, and I'm still frustrated, and I was telling Councilman McDonald what happened today. Scott McDonald and I were on a phone conference with state officials, and we got cut off twice while talking. We've discussed this is under state contract. The phone system, it just doesn't work properly for what we need to, how we need to operate. We've looked at the contract, Councilman McDonald has talked to Kyle Brister, who represents Twin State. Susan and I went over some numbers. I think the only way to make this work is to do, in your packet, would be the proposal number 2 at 60 months, which would be $214.36. Now,
Did you make copies of it, or?
yeah, you should have it in your packet.
See it?
You all should have, it should be in there.
It's on my
Oh, this
phone.
guy? This is part of.
It's in that thick
No,
packet,
it should be
roll
all
it
in
backwards.
there. Yeah, there it is, it's all there.
Yes.
Oh.
That's-
It's
taken
all of
together.
the-
Yeah, all that together, because that's, and I'm gonna explain all that too. Let's, just, Tommy asked me some questions earlier, and I was trying to explain to where we got with the phone system. Back in 2004, when I first became supervisor, I looked at the phone bills. I thought they were outrageous. The Frontier was charging us for, a long distance phone call for the town office, or the people that didn't have regional calling to call the town office from the 946 area number. It was a long distance call to call my own constituents. So I reached out to Frontier and I said, you got 518 regional calling now, it'd be much cheaper for us to do that package. They had refused us. So I went to the Public Service Commission in Albany, and I explained my concerns and why I didn't think it was appropriate. I can't even call my own constituents without it being a long distance. Public Service agreed. Frontier then came back, offered us 518 area code. We ended up saving about $500 a month on phone bills. We looked at the numbers the other day. During that time frame, we also had about 12 lines, and we found lines that were used to be in use and weren't in use, and we cut it down to 8, so we had additional savings. With this system, we'll cut down to 4 lines. It will actually be, if you're calling the tax collector, it'll go to the town of Jay. Thank you for calling the town of Jay. If you need the tax collector, dial push 24. If you need, something similar to that. Like
Right.
right now, we're operating on phones that are all different lines, and the system just doesn't work right, to be honest, to do the things that we need to do. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, cutting the bill more, it's not gonna do, it's gonna be a wash. On the 60-month, 5-year package at $214.36. I believe that by cutting 4, we're gonna go down to 4 lines instead of 8. We're basically gonna save about the same amount, I think it's somewhere around $203 a month, so we're not, it's basically a wash, but we're gonna be better, more effective at what we're doing, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's a savings, because we've already made all the savings part, but this, and it's under state contract, and anything you wanna add, Tommy, am I missing anything?
I don't think so. Yeah, it'll save a lot of time to boot if you,
Are you putting one up in the, codes office?
Yes.
So it'll be codes,
Highway, it will be,
Highway.
tax collector, it will be
Tax
planning, it will be,
so you can.
judges.
You can communicate with everyone within the system without having to call them.
Yeah, well, that, we can't even transfer calls now.
I do have a couple of questions. I
Okay.
mean, Every time you
Isn't it
guys always
four
go
lines?
to Twin State, have you ever tried this with anybody else? But-
Yeah.
Many times.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Because I mean, every time I've ever heard about this, all I've ever heard from is Twin State. I've never heard an offer from anybody else.
No, actually, that's not true. I brought you Frontier packages, I brought you Twin State packages, I brought you one from Mr. Wilson, I brought,
Scott Wilson.
we had 4 different companies at different times that I brought the prices to. The problem being is, it's hard to compare apples to apples, because they all come in and say, well, you use this, and you need this, or you don't need this, so it's hard to compare apples to apples. But I have brought, past board meetings, there's been packages after packages of, we've been dealing with it for 3 or 4 years, and I've brought you all that information, and spent a lot of time sitting down with each company.
And, this system's the same one they use next door.
Yes.
And I went over there one day and asked one of their phone guys, whoever does a lot of the phone calling, and they have a lot more people over there, and they have 4 or 5 lines, whatever we're gonna have. And they have no problems, nothing, so it's a great system. You can hear very well on it, you don't lose any calls, so.
We field a lot of phone calls here, and a lot of them aren't necessarily
Go to the-
pertaining to the town
But
supervisor's
it's,
office.
yeah, right.
But we have, I can show you the past packages, Arch, we have, I've brought it before this board numerous times. Different packages, different prices, that Susan and I have sat down with the companies, and each represented, Tommy sat down with them,
Yeah.
Chris has, showed them the whole building, they've each come back with different prices. Definitely Frontier, definitely Twin State, definitely, Scott Wilson's company, and I think there's one other one that we,
I think she was too, I can't think of it.
and there's not a lot of them that do it around the area, but I'm not sure if Charter's into it now or not,
Which
to
one
be
does
honest with you.
Black Brook have,
I
do you
believe they
know?
are.
What's that?
Which one does Black Brook
I
have?
don't even know.
They have one.
As part of the package, are they gonna go through the whole building and basically rewire it? Are we sure the
Yes.
problem you're
I
having
think that's
is,
what the
is,
19,000 upfront money, 2 payments of 19,000 or 2 payments of 20,000 is for. That's why I was asking if they talked to other people.
And it
That's, their 200 and something is the lease payment
Mhm.
yeah,
with $1 back, buyback
Both
when
line.
you- at the end of 5 years,
Ten.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they actually, they run new lines to each home.
Yeah,
Have
having
extensions.
extensions,
Actually, they'll run 2 at the same time, because it's, while you're running 1, you run 2,
yeah.
so then you're gonna have computer accessibilities everywhere as well, so.
The buyout at the end is only $1 though, I mean, it's not at the end of it, and they are running all new lines. Installation of the cable, it's,
And then
it's all
warranty.
listed right there, that's in it.
So what you're saying is the savings in cutting, what, another 4 lines or so,
We're going down from,
is gonna cover this cost?
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
you're gonna go from 8 lines to 4.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely been hashed over, I feel, and, I personally believe this is where to go. I've looked at all the other listings and things, and I'm not a phone expert, but I feel comfortable with this.
Have mobile phones been considered?
We have talked about it with, at one time with Verizon, but we have a lot of dead spots in this building with mobile phones.
Yeah.
You can't actually, in Susan's office, it's very hard to operate on a cell phone.
I've been in here not able to get my call, I have to go outside to get it.
So were you just saying that there's an upfront fee, or it just starts off with this?
This is it,
Yeah,
this is, the fee is this,
yeah.
starts out with a $60, $214.
So we're not gonna
It's a
affect,
wash,
so
it's
we're not
not,
gonna affect our budget?
no, not at all, not at all,
So,
it's a,
Well,
it's a wash.
I think it's time, I think the homework's been done, I'll move it to, I'll make a motion to move with this plan here, this company, and get it done.
Yeah, I think we've gone around many times on this, I think it's time to do something. I've seen the girls frustrated.
Well, just today, it happened again, twice, during the same conference call.
It's time to change.
So was that a second?
That's a second.
Further discussion?
I would just add for the discussion, I mean, you and your staff know best. I mean, I'm not here using the phone very often, so, you know, you bring a lot of money into this town, and, that we really need, so if you're telling us you need a piece of equipment to do the job, as well as Chris came to us and said he needs a truck, I feel it's the same situation.
Thank you, and I can just tell you one of the phone calls, and I was gonna bring it up later, but one of the phone calls today is, we have an EFC loan of $1 million. I'm working on trying to get 25% of that covered. It's a $250,000 phone call with two commissioners next Monday, or next Tuesday, I mean. And I don't want problems when I'm talking to two commissioners in the state of New York about trying to save this and get $250,000.
It's not like you're gonna get a hold of them
It's
like that, and you
no.
get cut off, and
It's
It's
just,
rough.
they go to
It's done.
another appointment, and you're screwed.
I'm totally frustrated with the phone system, and I, you know, I don't mean to be sarcastic about it, but we've hammered this thing around for 4 years. It's
Yeah.
just,
So what is the timeframe?
uh,
I don't know if you had it all in favor.
no, I haven't done it, we haven't voted yet.
So what is the timeframe for the project starting, and
I believe in April they would be able to do it, is what the,
I didn't think to ask that.
I believe it was April.
Document
Any further comments, questions? Okay, roll call vote, Councilman Depot. What's your hang up on it, or talk to me, please?
I don't have a hang up on it. I'm going to vote yes, but I'm going to get some things off my chest too.
Okay,
Over the years, I mean, last month I did take some of your comments a little personal. So
Okay.
I've got to get it off my chest.
okay,
You say you have to have the tools to work with. Well,
That's right.
since you come in office, we've given you a lot of tools to work with. We've put extra staff in your office. You have one extra person in your office that no other supervisor ever had. You have done a lot for the town. I totally, 100% give you that. It costs a lot more to run your office now than it ever did. So, but the comment that you need tools to work with, I think we've given you tools to work with.
I disagree,
And,
disagree.
and look at what it used to cost to run the office, what it costs now. Before we had a part-time person, we had that person here under a grant. We had an internship that was paid for under a grant,
Well,
20 hours a week.
I'm shocked that you're bringing that up, but as long as you're doing that. Well, let's vote on this. Yes?
Yes.
Councilwoman Michelle?
Yes.
Yes. Councilman McDonald?
Yes.
So long as you're talking about that, Arch, I think you're dead wrong. The amount of work that goes out of that office and the things that we've accomplished for money coming in this town, water, sewer, roads, bridges, youth facilities, grants, the numbers speak for themselves. I can't do it by myself, and the amount of money, that you're talking about, just the sewer project, that's $385,000 project. The amount of money that you're talking about is a salaried person that was $26,000, and when you're talking grant funding, the last person that was in that position, we had to remove them from the office because they were not a resident of the town of Jay. Now, the grant funding was for 1 year. The rest of it, they was paid out of town budget money. You might not have been aware of that, but was not paid by grant funding. It was only for a 1-year program, and it wasn't for future years after that. And I think for $26,000, the amount of work that we put out of that office, and we simplified the problem of having the town clerk available for many more hours, and you know that was a concern of many people, that they couldn't get their hunting license, fishing license, marriage license on the time frame that our town clerk was scheduled to be here. So we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. We brought in, had B make Carol our deputy, and we made Carol also the part-time clerk to the supervisor. Workload increased after Irene, there's no doubt about it, and it still is increasing. And I think that with the extra 10 hours that we put in 2 years ago is paid off. When you're paying somebody $26,000 a year to do the workload that Carol has put out of here, we can't keep up now. You see us, we spend a lot of hours here. We were here again last night. I work 60, 70 hours a week, every week. I do 6 hours of emails every day. My staff, we're emailing, we're phone calls, we're working extra hours, and I disagree. The amount of money that you're putting into 1 more staff, I lowered the phone bills $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year. I did that, nobody else, I did it. So, I found ways to save this town money, so, and I think it's justified. And if you look at the millions of dollars that I did and my staff did with the approval from this town board, fighting for millions of dollars that brought in, this town was $3 million in debt after Irene, fighting every minute, every day to make sure that isn't levied back onto the taxpayer. By the time I'm out of here, they're gonna have a brand new water system, you're gonna have a brand new sewer system, brand new youth facilities, brand new bridges on the Grove and Main Street. You're gonna have a new drainage system, you're gonna have broadband in all Sable Acres. These things just don't happen by somebody sitting back and not doing it. You gotta give me the tools to do it, and the tools are a phone system. I'm operating on a phone system that is a $60 package that comes from Staples, and it doesn't work. And it's, so I do take that personal. I think that's a low blow and a cheap shot.
I've already asked on the phone system, so.
Yeah, good. All right, next on the list. Resolution and congratulations to Bob Straight on his retirement. We are putting together a party for him. He actually is an employee of ACAP. We, both us, the town of Blackbrook and town of Jay, reimbursed him for his hours. Reimbursed ACAP for his hours. He's a senior bus driver. He retired as of last week, last Friday, and I spoke with Barb Papano today. We are advertisement is going out to, Barb's was putting it out this week, and I think it's going out tomorrow actually. And I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, right now, Chris has had John Pulsford doing it for the last couple days until we can finalize this out.
Who's doing the
John.
advertising for that?
ACAP is.
They get
Okay, correspondence and discussion. Send a letter to Senior Fuel Fund Organizer Shirley Thomas and Lynn Doobie asking if they meet with Supervisor Nolan and myself to discuss the rules and regulations that they have put forth. There's been a lot more need this year for fuel assistance. That covers senior fuel in need after they've been HEAP in their emergency HEAP. But I'm looking at creating the possibility of group, for, under 62. And Ricky and I talked about it on the phone the other day and through an email. We're hoping to get a meeting together. He agrees that the need was great this year, and we try to help as much as possible. We've had people donate money already to help people in need. We've had people donate for the food pantry that we have here too, and the need's been great this year, so I'll keep you posted on that. The New York State DEC wastewater annual certification form, that's been done, just want to share that with you. The next thing on the list is the STAR application. I just wanted to let you know that it has been, I gave you the numbers and the breakdown, this is from like 10 days ago. John and Tina have been reaching out to constituents that haven't filed the STAR form as of yet. We were up to 93%. We were the top town in the county of the people that needed to renew for the STAR application, and we were at 93% of the people that were registered the year before. So we were the top town in the county as of 10 days ago of getting the people. Some towns are as low as 82% of, so.
So is the time limit up now for that? People still register?
To the end of the month.
And they can still register
And
if they
then, are
purchase
they,
them.
is Donna and Tina, do they help people that don't know what to do or how to do it in their
Yes,
office?
yes, yes, and Carol has too, because Carol's been doing that too. All right, next. The next one is Dan doing the bank interest rates, we'll have to wait till he comes on that. This one. Next is Habitat for Humanity, looking for a home to build for family in need in Jay. They wanna build, there was some property donated by the Ward family, and, they wanna do a home, so if you know anybody that would fit the criteria, that I sent to you in the email, just let us know. Victim impact statement, we filled this out regarding, the water that was stolen here after the ice storm, a few months ago. Just wanted to share that with you. Letter sent out regarding, all affected regarding the closure of Stickney Bridge Road, all the emergency services, all the school, state police, sheriff's department, we worked in, and we put a letter out to all of them, inform them Stickney Bridge was gonna be closed. Update on Alsebo Acres broadband project, you might have read in the paper, it has been formally approved by the board of directors. And that project is moving forward, should be, as soon as the weather breaks, they'll be up, you'll see them all over in the acres, working on it. We're working on with Charter, getting the licensing agreements with Frontier and NYSEG, and everything else is moving along rather quickly with that. We're hoping to have everything done, after speaking on a conference call with Charter, we're hoping to have, I don't wanna give false hope, but hopefully by the end of the summer that everything should be up and running, but we'll see what happens.
Now, is that something you would buy into through your regular phone service?
Through Charter, yep,
Through Charter?
through Charter, your cable.
And they would come and just hook up at your house
Yep.
like they would for, that's great.
It is, it's a, definitely needed.
You know, everybody in the acre, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just to update you, I went to Washington, last week I was there for 3 days with Supervisor Farabee. We met with Senator Gillibrand staff, Congressman Owens, and we met Senator Schumer. Discussed all our outstanding FEMA issues on the county level, the town of Jay, Keene, Saranac Lake, Ticonderoga Road. We went through all our FEMA issues that we still have from outstanding from Irene. Talked about numerous issues and asking to keep federal budget funding the same as it has been for transportation needs, and we had a very good trip and meeting with our representatives, so just wanted to let you know we were there and working on it. The new policy manual is out to all the employees and elected officials. All the amendments have been changed in it, and they have to sign a certificate and get it back to us, and we put them in the personnel file. It is out, and, it seems to,
Certificate is to prove that they actually have one.
yes, to say that they already actioned and that they have it in hand, yes. Supervisor's office hours, I just wanted to let you know that we're gonna try and change some things because the workload has been, it's hard because, with some interruptions and stuff, it's hard when we're doing letters and we're trying to arrange conference calls and stuff, and doing bank reconciliations and those sort of things, and closing out grants and, project worksheets. We're gonna try starting April 1st, where we're still working the 8 to 4:30, which we've been pretty since I've been here, but, we're gonna try Monday through Thursday to go 9 AM to 3 PM to greeting the public, and on Friday, 9 AM to 4:30 PM to, see if that helps us so we can do, we're hoping this will make, be able to, us to serve the public more efficiently. I think it will work, and it'll give us time to do things, that we need to get done to follow up on things that so we're gonna try it. If it doesn't work, I will let you know, but we are gonna try it starting April 1st. Next
So
is,
will that make your gym hours change as well? Is your gym hours gonna correspond?
we'll leave that, we haven't, it's been done.
Because you'll be here, just
To be here.
just your office is open. Yeah, good.
In emergency situations, we're gonna be here too, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we won't, but it just gives time for filing and doing the numerous letters that we do,
Yeah.
correspondence, and all those things, it gives us the time to do it. You know, one thing that, and Nurse, I'm not trying to fight with you, but I'm a workaholic, and I'm not bragging, but I create things, a workload that maybe other past people haven't created. I'll just tell you one circumstance that we did last Friday, and it took us 6 hours to do. We got a little boy who needed glasses, and we reached out to every possible avenue that his family didn't have the needs to get the glasses. It took us 6 hours to accomplish it, but we got him, and the little boy has glasses. So those are the things that we go above and beyond to make happen for people, that it takes time. It doesn't just, it's not easy. And I'm not so sure that, I know I've created this, but people do reach out to us for a lot of things that I don't think that the town board is aware of, that we do. And that's just for one instance, and that was last Friday. Discussion of tenants receiving water sewer bills from property owners. After doing some research on it, we have tenants receiving, tenants be able to receive already. There's 1, 2, 3 on sewer, 4 on sewer, 1, 2, 3, 4 on water that we currently allow the tenants to do. So I just wanted to bring it back to the board to discuss whether we're gonna go policy that as we move forward, anybody new has to be to the owner, or if we're gonna do what we were doing with Tops, that we have to do it to make it fair to everybody. So right now we're getting, I just need some direction from the board. I think I sent you an email a little while ago on it, but I need some direction on where to go with this. If we're gonna move
Kind of
forward.
forgotten now where it went, cause we got.
Because
confused on that.
it's not an owner, it is a person that's renting. Now, if you have this gentleman here, this one here,
Mhm,
that didn't pay,
mhm,
it automatically rolls over into the land, into their taxes.
that's correct.
But if it's in her name, how can you do that when it doesn't belong to the landlord?
That is correct.
So,
How can you roll it
so you're
over?
saying the ones, the tenants that get copies of, so we send 2 out, 1 to the homeowner?
No, we just send them to the tenant.
Just the
tenant.
And it is here, and it's been going on for years, so I don't know how to fix. You know,
So-
either we either stop this, or we grandfather these people that are doing it now, or.
So is that followed up with a letter from the owner stating to do that?
For us to follow up with the owner, the only.
No, for us to send a letter for the water or sewer, the bill, I mean, to the tenant. If we have a letter from the landowner stating this is where I want you to send the bill, what do we care who gets it?
we don't, but I
Yeah,
don't,
but
I
if it's in
don't,
their name, it's their bill.
I don't have a letter of this on file. You know,
Probably not those, cause that was done in the past, but
Right,
It's in the past.
I'm
it's in
saying
the
now,
past.
we don't care who we send the bill to, as long as we have a letter in the file from the landowner stating where it goes, right?
mhm.
That's my thought, I don't know.
It hasn't been an issue because these people are paying the bills, it hasn't been an issue,
But
but
Vern has an
Amy
issue.
brings up a point, if the
It's
tenant
in that
doesn't pay it,
person's
what
name.
happens to it?
That
It
person's
can't be
liable.
re-levied on to the owner, so that is a good point.
Why can't it?
Cause it's not, it's
Well,
in
the
that
bill-
person's name, it's their
No,
bill.
the bill's gonna be in the landowner's name, it's just it gets mailed to them, right?
Well, it's actually
It's a
in the,
pain
it's
in the
actually
butt
in
to
their
do
name.
that.
Well, it's actually in their name.
Mhm.
You
No,
can't do that.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You're saying that it should be in the owner's name, but mailed to them,
Yeah.
It would be mailed to
Yeah,
them
if
and
they
to the
made
owner
it,
if
if
that's
they
the
made
way they want
arrangements
it.
for their tenant, that they want their tenant to pay
If their
it,
tenant's not paying it, then it has to go back to the landlord.
but the bill should stay in the landowner's name.
Should absolutely stay in the landlord's name.
I'll do it however, I honestly, I don't.
But maybe we're getting involved with something we shouldn't be. If a landlord wants a tenant to pay it, then they need to get in the bill.
So the landlord
Yeah,
should take and have that in tune with the rent,
so we
So
should,
that
we
pays
should
for the
bill
rent.
landowners only.
landowners on
Okay, what do you wanna
Keeps
do
us
with
out
it?
of, keeps us out of the middle of anything.
it. That's
What do you
right.
wanna do with this then? Do you wanna just tell, so send these people a letter that,
That switch.
that's gotta
That
switch
the
and go back
landlord
to them?
has, it has to go back to the
We need
landlord,
bill landowners, I would say.
and the landlord will bill you.
Somebody make a motion to do that then?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Councilor